in the league drew an audience of 929,000, according to ESPN. The numbers were nowhere near what they were with Caitlin Clark.
Post game, she does her best Jerry Maguire impersonation. Hey, Kathy, show me the money.
The WNBA just lost $40 million in a single season. And you know what's crazier? Players like Natasha Cloud are demanding higher salaries. This isn't just a slight budget issue. We're talking about a league that's been on financial life support for years. Meanwhile, rookie Caitlin Clark is single-handedly boosting viewership by over 300%, selling more merch than all other players combined.
Not being in the finals or being in the finals, it's the fact that Caitlin Clark is in the league that is allowing other teams to still have these pretty decent ratings.
And barely saying a word about money. The contrast couldn't be more stark, and it's setting up a collision course that might determine if the WNBA survives at all. You know what's wild? The WNBA is bleeding cash faster than a rookie with a torn ACL, and some players still think they deserve NBA-level paychecks. Let's break down exactly how bad this financial disaster really is. We're talking about $40 million lost in a single season. That's not just a bad quarter, it's catastrophic for a league that's been around for almost 30 years. Here's the truth nobody wants to talk about. The WNBA has never turned a profit in its entire existence. Not once. The NBA keeps pumping money into it like it's on life support, and the patient isn't getting any better. Every year, it's the same story. Red numbers, empty seats, and more excuses. The numbers get even more brutal when you look closer.
They just don't get it. They can't seem to understand. They can't seem to grasp the basic concepts of simple economics.
WNBA players already receive about 23% of league revenue, which is actually higher than what NBA players get when all expenses are considered. That's right, they're already getting a bigger slice of a much smaller pie. Want to see how bad the attendance problem is? Even legendary players can't fill seats. Diana Taurasi, arguably the greatest WNBA player ever, couldn't even fill an arena to half capacity during her retirement game.
The good news for the WNBA, the retirement of Diana Taurasi, it will have absolutely no impact on their ratings.
If you can't sell tickets for a GOAT's farewell, when can you? Meanwhile, Natasha Cloud is standing at press conferences staring down Commissioner Kathy Engelbert demanding, "Show me the money."
Post game, she does her best Jerry Maguire impersonation. Hey, Kathy, show me the money.
As if there's some secret vault of cash the league is hiding somewhere. Has she seen the financial reports? Where exactly does she think this money is coming from? The disconnect from reality is stunning.
On how to safely and effectively remove the cucumber, there's just no time to teach the indoctrinated about supply and demand.
Cloud literally told men to stop watching the WNBA if they weren't willing to invest financially while simultaneously demanding more money. Talk about shooting yourself in the foot. You're telling potential fans to stay away while complaining about not having enough revenue? Make it make sense. What's even crazier is how these demands are happening right as the league is finally gaining some momentum with new fans thanks to one rookie's arrival.
Absolutely did it all and became a magnet for attention.
Instead of building on that momentum, some veterans are busy creating controversy that risks alienating the new audience they desperately need. Let's talk about that rookie who's changing everything. When Caitlin Clark steps on the court, arenas that were half empty suddenly sell out completely, with ticket prices through the roof. This isn't just star power. It's one 22-year-old literally carrying an entire professional sports league on her back while veterans throw shade instead of saying thank you.
Right. You think of the greats that came into this league that hadn't been able to really make that happen.
The numbers don't lie, and they're absolutely mind-blowing. Whenever Clark plays, viewership skyrockets from 394,000 for regular games to a massive 1.2 million. That's tripling the audience just by having one player on the court. Can you name any other athlete in any sport who triples viewership just by showing up? It's completely unheard of. Have you tried getting tickets to an Indiana Fever game lately? Good luck with that. When Clark is playing, you'll need to take out a second mortgage just to get nosebleed seats.
In the league drew an audience of 929,000, according to ESPN. The numbers were nowhere near what they were with Caitlin Clark.
The contrast is crazy. Games with Clark are packed to the rafters, while games without her look like a high school scrimmage with all those empty seats. And her jersey? Clark isn't just outselling her teammates or other rookies. Her jersey is outselling all other WNBA players combined, not beating them by a little bit.
You want me to just say I told you so, or are you willing to say, Stephen A., you did tell us? Really? Caitlin Clark is the golden goose.
Completely dominating the market in a way we've never seen before. That's not just impressive, that's economic impact on a whole different level. The social media numbers tell the same story. Clark's highlights and posts generate engagement that nobody else in the league can touch. She's bringing in viewers who never cared about women's basketball before.
People, but there are some out there who resent the fact that this young white girl came out there and did her thing.
People who are watching WNBA games for the very first time because of her. Here's the wild part. Instead of putting this rookie on their shoulders and celebrating the financial lifeline she represents, many veterans are taking shots at her. They're throwing shade at the very player who's making their league relevant. It's like watching someone criticize the firefighter who's saving their house.
You bet your ass there is a Caitlin Clark effect on all of basketball, and especially on women's basketball.
You know what question keeps the WNBA executives up at night? What happens if Clark decides this hostile environment isn't worth it? Or worse, what if she gets injured?
You cannot deny the connectivity of Caitlin Clark playing basketball and people wanting to watch. If she's playing, they will come, they will watch the game.
Financial analysts are painting a nightmare scenario where without Clark's drawing power, the league's losses could explode from $40 million to over $100 million annually. That's not just a bad season. That's potentially fatal for women's professional basketball. Let's be brutally honest here. The path to success for the WNBA isn't through demanding more money that doesn't exist. It's through following the playbook that other women's sports leagues have already shown works.
Supply. Hell, we've almost reached a point where pretend basketball is being supplied 12 months out of the year. Problem is, there's no demand.
Look at how other women's leagues built their audience and revenue streams first before pushing for higher salaries. That's just smart business. The league executives aren't being stingy. They're trying to create a sustainable business model that can actually survive long term. Without that foundation, the whole thing collapses.
Caitlin Clark should be getting so much more credit, but unfortunately, there are still haters who are trying to bring her down.
It's like trying to build a championship team without developing your rookies first. This isn't about putting women's sports down. It's about lifting it up the right way. The WNBA has incredible potential, but only if everyone involved faces the financial realities head on. Building something that lasts takes patience, smart growth strategies, and everyone pulling in the same direction. The future of women's basketball literally depends on it.